How's it? Welcome to Basil's Garage. We were outside in the lovely sunshine. Been a bit quick for the last couple of weeks, so Basil's Garage has been a bit slow. But I thought I'd give you a bit of a revisit after I finished Billy Bob's mower, a revisit of the 10-year-old reboot. So this is the mower that I started basically 10 years ago, and now getting some work done so I can finally get it hopefully a bit further along. So I'll just show you a couple of bits and pieces. So if you come in and look inside here, so this is the peerless right angle drive. Standard right angle drive. I have pulled it apart and I have replaced the seals, cleaned all the bearings up and filled it with oil, not with grease, and then I've put a little vent in here so we can vent it out when we're running, so that the build up and the pressure won't cause the seals to fail. This here is a blank sprocket you can buy, and I've machined it down to fit onto the spline that was in here. This is actually an 08B sprocket, and this is a 428 chain, and you can see I've got a tensioner that I've got down the bottom of here, going through to a main chain on the back. So when I run that now, it runs nice and smoothly, and that should give us no dramas hopefully. On the left hand side you see I've got the brake. I'm running a twin pot caliper on here, and the twin pot caliper actually comes down through there, and then I run my brakes a bit different to get out of here. To most people, I'll actually run my brakes on the steering wheel. So I've got accelerator will be on this side, and I've got brakes on this side, so I never have to take my feet off the side panels. You'll also notice that I've now got the side panels fully completed on here. So I've put riv nuts underneath to the light tubing I've put underneath it, and then I've bolted them down here and bolted it down here, and that's really solid, which means my feet aren't going to slide off the sides of here, and it's within the regulations for the height of the side pieces. So that's all done. I'm quite happy with the way that's come along. On here I've put a couple of pieces to cover the holes from the old. I've got a key start I'm going to put on this one, so it'll be a key start to start, and obviously that's cheap off AliExpress. And I've got my kill switch going on this side for your hand. Now obviously around the front of here we have a fuel tank, which I've managed to score a little fuel tank which is going to sit up the top of here. Still need to put the wiring in, so the battery is going to slide up into here, and then we'll have the solenoid switch and bits and pieces to go around here once the engine's put in there. The steering, I'll show you how that works in a minute. I've gone to the 13 by 650 tyres for the front. I think it looks more like a lawnmower when you've got the smaller tyres on the front there. Still using the 6-inch steel rims, straight off a lawnmower. What I'll do is come around to the back here. And these are the original hubs that I made for the first mower many years ago. And then I've got these rims here, which are the steel rims. You can get them from Wheelco or Industrial Wheels Limited. They are just your standard 4-bolt hub running your standard lawnmower tyres. I made these up, as I say. They do have a keyway cut in them, but I also cut a slot in the end of them, and I've got a clamp on here so I can tighten them, and that works quite nicely. So I'll just throw this wheel on here, get it around the right way, put this onto here, grab the wheel nuts. Always important to have chrome wheel nuts, as you know. Now I'll put those on here. Once I've done this, I'll flip it up on the side and I'll show you what's going on underneath it. You can get a bit of a picture of that. Grab the little handy radical here. We'll talk those up when I actually start racing, but don't need to worry about it now. So we'll lift this up here. Now I should be able to lift this right up so that you can have a look underneath. So what we've got here is I've modified the steering. I've put a bigger bar. I ran a smaller one before, but after building Billy Bob's mower, I decided it was better to put a bigger steering in here. So the crucial thing with the steering is these lengths of these here. So a short one here to a long one here gives you a good purchase, makes the steering easy. So I've always stuck with this. To me, it's just the simplest way to make a steering system. And we did talk about the Ackerman several times on it. So what I can possibly do is, if you have a look under here, this is the center point at which the wheel pivots. Now if we take a line through here and bring a line straight back through here, that should equal the center of the rear axle. So as long as you've got your steering, and it can be on the inside or it could actually be on the outside, but it needs to be out here so that when you run the line straight through the two steering joints, they come to the centre of the axle. That's what's going to give you your acumen and give you good steering. I did move the clutch. The clutch was in the wrong place and it was hitting on the steering, so I've moved it back. We've still got the clutch lever here, which is working fine, and obviously underneath here now you can see that the aluminium's all attached, and it actually has come up quite solid. The steering works well. So I'll drop this back down. You can see still got the spring. Clutch is still the double pulley type, and it's looking fairly tidy underneath, which is quite nice. So we'll drop this back down again. I'll grab another piece. So this is the rear cover. Now it still needs a bit of work. It's not 100% at this stage, but that's going to basically fit onto there, and there's a couple of bolts that go down and down through here to hold this on here, and we'll bolt it onto there as well. The good thing about it is that the seat itself has got some nice bolts underneath here, so we'll make some holes in here and bolt that so the seat will sit nicely up under here, and that will work really well. We have the bonnet, which is this part. Now I'm still playing around with the fitting of the bonnet. At the moment it's quite simple. It just goes through a couple of bolts on the front and sits on some little guides that I got here, so ideally that will come up through here and sit on the guides. I might just grab a couple of bolts to see if I can sit that in the right place. And you can sort of see what we're ending up with. So if I can get this sitting in about the right place, I can put a bolt through here. And if I can do the same on this side. Seemed really easy when I did it before. Just tighten this up a little bit. All going well, or not. Okay, so it wants to be difficult to me. Hold that thought. Finally, so it's effectively bolted on there, and on there. So yeah, that will sit like that, and then we need the front bumper, which is not finished yet. Obviously the ends will be covered on this because that's what it says in the rules, but just for showing purposes, that slides into there and sits on the front. So yeah, that's oh, hang on, yeah. Nearly forgot the thing. So the beauty of this is that I can get to the fuel tank in the middle. I just undo it here to refilling, so that makes it nice and easy, but you can see the stance of the mower. Puffing after doing all that now. I think it's come up really quite nicely. Obviously we've got some finishing to do on the guards. We've got to tidy them up, paint them, get rid of any sharp edges. The bonnet needs to be re-panel beated and probably repainted. I guess I could just keep that nice patina look, which seems to be quite popular on some of the hot rods and rat rods, but we'll see. So effectively all I have to do now is build a motor. So the next job for me is to build a motor, and we'll keep you posted on that. But we've basically got a rolling chassis, which is great. Throw a motor into it and we'll be out for some test rides. So watch this space. See you next time, Baz's Garage.